Okay, welcome back to class, everyone. Here is SpongeBob in China. It is just like somewhat of an offensive satire take on SpongeBob. It's again like super fuego. What do we know about SpongeBob? Look at the sponge in your sink. That sponge in your sink looks like SpongeBob SquarePants. What sponge wouldn't look like SpongeBob SquarePants? Scrub Daddy is the only scrub that is a sponge and it is a smiley face. And they appeared on Shark Tank. That company got millions and millions of dollars because simply by working on optimism and cheerful glee. So your sponge looks like SpongeBob SquarePants. Scrub Daddy is a sponge that is the complete opposite of SpongeBob SquarePants.
Are you ready, kids?
Aye, aye, Honorable Chairman.
I can't hear you.
So, is China in a dictatorship? A sweet old Asian lady once asked me in Canadian time. She said, "Is China still in a dictatorship?" And I said, "I believe so." And I asked my mom, and I was like, "Why is it that one person rules over a billion people?" And she said, "How else are you supposed to rule over anybody?" So yeah, so here is not Xi Jinping. Xi Jinping, the guy that said hello Beijing, he has roses. That is, the classic. You push your bookshelf in your house, and then it enters into like a chamber where it's like, you can like create like a bomb shelter in case a zombie apocalypse, like from Thriller, it comes on. This is not Xi Jinping, so he's a different dictator, like who's now passed and deceased. What do I know about China? If you've been following, like this is like semester 2. Yeah, skip some stuff. There's a famine. Mongolians during the Cambodia War tried to jump over with pogo sticks because there were locusts, grasshoppers that ate away at wheat. So they tried to go to rice paddies in China. And people built the Great Wall of China after some sort of slaughter where they stopped the war for a little bit. But look, wars go on for so long. Like World War One was 4 years. World War Two was 5 years. It says estimated death toll of 46 million, because you can never get the exact amount of how many people got smothered. But would you say 46 million people who died in World War Two is a lot? Like, it's just so crazy of an amount. Like 37 million people died in World War One. It's just too much. Some people say World War Three would be about Bitcoin. I was doing the math on it, like someone 0.01 Bitcoin is about $2,000. It's just so insane. Like, you cash out 0.01 Bitcoin, you go to McDonald's, it's $27. It is just so much money. One Bitcoin is just too crazy. But here's an eye patch on the person to train a lazy eye. So, but even if you ask him for plants, he'll tell you no. Next, we're going to make our way into Happy Tree Friends. When would you find yourself watching Happy Tree Friends? You could find yourself watching Happy Tree Friends because you have a vile friend by the name of Martin who just thinks it's funny that things are exploding and things are graphic. It's like I once did a dietitian, like a dissertation on does GTA raise violent children? The answer is yeah. Like, why would you play a game where you press X and then you yank a guy out of his car? Like, this ain't Miami. So, there's the Mongolian versus China. There's the Great Wall of China, the only landmark that can be seen from outer space. If one day you hope to become an astronaut. So, let's say George W. Bush, Barack Obama, and they're sitting in front of a classroom, and they ask Samuel Zimbabwe, what do you want to be when you grow up? And you have to pick 3 occupations. What do children usually say? They first say, I want to become an astronaut. I want to travel in space. I want to become an astronaut. I want to become president of the world. And 3, I want to be world chess champion. If your child did not answer that correctly, then there could be some sort of delay in your child. So, just watch out for that. Ask your kid, what do you want to be when you grow up as an occupation? An astronaut, president, a world chess champion.
Aye,
Oh, who lives in a takeout box on the seafloor?
SpongeBob SquarePants.
Who loves pirating movies and always wants more?
SpongeBob SquarePants.
If world domination is something you wish,
SpongeBob SquarePants.
then stop asking questions and we all get rich.
Okay, so like, I was once in class and I said, this teacher, this thing, she was like, you're working on Greek mythology, where you have to study Hades, Athena, huh? Like Achilles, Troy, Hector. And then, I made up a character and I said, Zaishon. And she's like, this is Greek mythology, not Asian mythology. And didn't she have a point? That some things are just how things are. So, Greeks invented mathematics. Imagine like monkeys, like on branches, and then as people are developing, if you ever been to Athens and like how like the stones are cut clean and like how these pillars are standing. Because Greeks invented math. Yeah, they're good at currency. They're good at figuring what to do with Apple stock. So, what else do we know about China? When the lotus ate all the wheat in Mongolia, Chinese people had no money. There's a famine. If you ever meet like my Chinese grandma, she would be eating little bits of rice. So when I grew up, I had an aunt. So my mom's sister, her name was No Love War. And she's like the opposite of my mom. My mom wears red. My mom is a madre. It's like a sword. It's like Madre. So then, a lot of like my work, I can devote to people, for example. So like, this is also like a motivational case study. So like, I'm finding it hard to go to the beach because I'm tired today. But I can just pick someone in my social circle that it would benefit, and I would just do it for that person. So it's like adding fuel to the fire. Like, motivated people don't need much motivation. But anyway, in China, they had a famine, and then that dictator basically said, if you can bring me a black venomous snake, as we are doing Bounty Hunter, this black venomous snake, as we cut off the head for its venom, we can sell it and stuff, yada yada. You, for catching the black venomous snake, will get $600 to $800. What happened is people started breeding black venomous snakes in their backyard. So they would catch a snake, but instead of getting 600, 800, keep it in a cage and breed it for like 12 months. It starts shedding its skin and all that stuff, but it also gives out babies. They're breeding black venomous snake for income back in China. So when I think about China, I also think about opium outbreaks. People, when they take opium, they're just laying on the side of under their bed, and then they're like picking up rats or like cockroaches, and like that's what I think about when I think of famine. If someone said famine to me, but things are not so anymore because Chinese people nowadays, if their family is honorable, they have what's called a dynasty. It's like the Golden State Warriors. They win so many games in a row that they can have what's called a dynasty, where it's like it's so hard to stop them. I could do a dissertation where it's like the Golden State, they win back-to-back championships, and then they were last seed the very next season when people just came out with hardwood floor. If you watch NBA hardwood classics, if you land, so that's why when you're playing basketball, if you put your arm against an offensive player on defense and you hit them in the chest as they jump in the air, it is just a flagrant 2. But on the good news, though, you're taught to not play violent. So then the opposite of that is a clear path foul, where I'm just running up with the ball. I'm going to get an easy 2 because I'm just going to dunk it or just lay it in. Someone from the back just grabs my jersey. I just get 2 free throws. It's a clear path foul. So when we have smacking someone in the chest as they're jumping and they hit their lower back, God forbid they get paralyzed from the waist down because it's a hardwood floor. So hardwood classics goes back to the time of Kobe Bryant too. So it's like, why is Kobe making that face? Why is he so intense? Because they call him Black Mamba. A black mamba is a black venomous snake. A snake is just nothingness. Like, it just slithers. How does it slither? Just by moving left and right. Like a worm. It will just slither itself. The sunlight will cause the snake to shed. Because it's so hot. So a nothingness is shedding. So you look at Kobe Bryant, he's making an intense face and he wants to win. And he's elbowing Kevin Garnett. So in Game 7 he can't jump as high because his liver hurts. And then people are like, what happened to Paul Pierce? He's shooting 2 for 15. It's because Kobe elbowed his way to 1 MVP. So Kobe's making that face. He's the Black Mamba, it's Kobe Bryant. Why is he so intense? Because like a snake shedding its skin, intensity had to be somewhere.
Wake up! Get out of bed! Do not be fat Western failure! Wake up! Get out of bed! Do not be fat...
Thank you, annoying government alarm. Progress.
Never in your life do you want to be Plankton. Never in your life do you want to root for Plankton taking the Krabby Patty formula. Like those rap lyrics that wrote that. It's like, when you take that money, make sure you put it aside. Especially nowadays. Because rats don't exist, so they can't eat away at your money. For a really long time, I was anti-millionaire. Like, I was like, why do you have all this money? It's kind of ghetto. It's giving me anxiety. Because then every day you go to the bank, you take out 500. in case the banks go insolvent. And then you stash it away under your mattress or in a piggy bank. Because I bet if I did a swear jar for like my kids, put a swear jar in a piggy bank, every time she swears, I put in 5 cents. By the time she's 18, in there would be $27,000. So then you're giving me anxiety trying to become a millionaire. So then, so you're a millionaire now because you leveraged long on Bitcoin. You just bought it on Binance and you did ×3. You just longed it. You're just optimistic about the future, so you're longing Bitcoin. So now the average person is so incredibly rich, I would say. So then you're telling me you're taking your money and hiding it under the mattress in case banks go insolvent. The biggest decoy is the Royal Bank of Canada because they're stopping you from going to the Bank of Canada. It's like, speaking of the devil, I searched it up. I was like, because I know this information, let me get a credit card from Bank of Canada as opposed to Royal Bank of Canada. Turns out, it said Bank of Canada does not issue credit cards or debit cards because it's not a commercial bank. So I was right in that way that RBC would have a vice president chairman. You know, so Bank of Canada is not a commercial bank. The government also borrows money from the bank. It's like if you watch that Bill Ackman Teaches Economics. I love doing things like that, like getting like masters, like MBA degrees when like I'm at home, like studying.
I wonder what I get to do today. Hooray! All our hard work has paid off. China is rich. So I must be rich too.
Yeah, get rich or die trying just means like aspire for greater more. It's a really good album by 50 Cent. I think the video essay, 50 Cent bullied hip hop, it's suffice. Like, it's adequate. Like, it just explains it so well. He has Patiently Waiting by Eminem. Because why? Dr. Dre signed Snoop Dogg, Eminem to Interscope, and then like Snoop Dogg was on death row. Eminem signed 50 Cent. You may not know this. Eminem found 50 Cent. There's a really awkward scene, like, believe it or not, where Eminem is meeting with 50 Cent, you know, a predominantly black demographic of rap music. 50 Cent is just crazy because his voice is crazy. But if you watch the video, it's like Eminem is just feeling awkward around 50 Cent because he doesn't know what to do when he signs a protege. You know, it's like, it's just to say, like, I hope you're not scared of younger people. Like, you should never, like, first, if we can read between the lines, you should always, first thing in life, you should always confront someone if they don't at you on Twitter. So Dwayne Wade, he goes on a trip to Miami without telling his friend that is a Miami native. And then somewhere that friend feels his resentment. That friend should just go to Dwayne Wade, just say, why didn't you at me? Because when you put at on Twitter, it shows the Twitter handle. If you don't at someone, it's called subtweeting, subliminal messaging. Like Dwayne Wade says, feels so good to be in Miami, when he planned a Miami trip with his friend. So he is subtweeting that person. So the first step in life is find that person that is subtweeting and meet them, confront them. Why don't you at me?
I'm to shop. Huh? A new Apple store? Why would they open an Apple store in China? We already have our own patented superior technology. beautiful, and all created by our own visionary, Stove Jeeves.
So here is a billboard. So Jay-Z says he made it on Billboard. Billboard Top 100 Music is the radio station. He made it on Billboard is also the billboard. It's just to say both, I guess. Like, one of my dreams is to make it on Billboard. I'm saying I hope my song goes #1. I'm hoping it shows on Times Square, New York, New York. So there's a shooting, almost like comic book, like a crazed gunman aims down 4 men. Manhattan, New York. Wow, like it's almost like you can take that like plier and then like remove it out of a newspaper. But like Manhattan, New York, that's a comic book style, like the whole Stan Lee being like the creator of Spider-Man is New York's #1 fan. Like the upper echelon level can be like that crazy. Manhattan, New York comic book shooting is so crazy of a news story. It's almost as crazy as New York, New York. New York is in New York City. So Manhattan, New York. So I'm in Manhattan, New York City. So I'm imagining like brown buildings with like black stairs that like probably like Biggie ran through or like Nas ran through because Jay-Z didn't give him his number. So he just ran through someone's building because they let anyone run the game. Anyone can land top 1 on Billboard. That's why you shouldn't fear Drake. So then, so that's New York. That's Manhattan, New York. But now I'm imagining myself. I'm now walking over, and now I landed myself in an apartment in New York, New York City. Yeah, like Bloods and Crips, more like there, and then like Jay-Z's from the Bronx, and then if you look at like the Brooklyn Bridge, like there's probably even like a Manhattan Bridge, like Queensbridge Militia is where people hold M4s and they hold AK rifles, and they're watching on Billboard the global population decreasing. But what happened is Nicki Minaj happened. It's to say, like, when the winter came, it froze water pipes. So those henchmen even let loose. Their water pipes didn't work. So the people that were, when New York was like crazy crime scene, like I'm talking like 1929, like Pablo Escobar style. Like when he made so much money, he was giving back to soup kitchens. And then he had a whole vault, and then rats ate away at his money. Where rats no longer exist. Which is just so crazy.
SpongeBob, you are late for work.
I am not here to work. I am rich now. I am here to buy.
So why do we root for SpongeBob SquarePants? Because he's positive, he's optimistic, the good guy always wins. He has this saying that says, "Another day, another dollar." It's a good way to start saving frugally.
Oh, rich, eh? Then take a look at our special party-only menu.
Ooh, one shark fin.
But yeah, you should always take your money and put it under the mattress. You should start taking out money from your bank in case banks go insolvent. Because this ain't Patty, this ain't Patty. Like, this ain't Travie, this ain't Patty. Because Travis Scott has a song called Escape Plan. And then St. Patrick's Day. Luck of the Irish. It's to say Irish people are... it's like I'm trying to fill in just a lot of my knowledge. If you see a rainbow and you follow it, you would find a pot of gold. That song by Chris Brown and The Game is so crazy. Like, these bright lights weren't made for me. I close my eyes and imagine I'm home. That song is so insanely crazy. So Eminem was signed by Dr. Dre. Eminem signs Eminem signs 50 Cent. So he appears on Patiently Waiting, 50 Cent's actual first song. 50 Cent then puts his music ear to the streets. He then wants to see if he's talented in finding talent. He signs The Game, Tony Yayo, and Lloyd Banks. What happens when you listen to G Unit's music? Tony Yayo sucks. Lloyd Banks sucks. The Game is good-ish. The only good person in G Unit is 50 Cent. And then that's how you like 50 Cent.
Burger, please.
I'm sorry. Evil Greenpeace and Western War on Progress means we have no more shark fin burger. Why don't you try a delicious dolphin burger instead?
What? No, wait, dolphin burger? What do you think I am? Japanese?
Quit your whining. There are starving children in America that would kill for dolphin burger. You don't want to end up like Patrick, do you?
Confess your crime.
I use knife and fork.
Cow, cow, to mouth.
Okay, so like going back to when I was in middle school, and it was like I was doing a play on Greek mythology, and I invented someone called like Jean Hua. And my teacher said, "This is Greek mythology, not ancient mythology." So then, let's talk about Tiananmen Square. So a lot of things aren't broadcasted in China. They have different stuff like WeChat, and then the internet is blocked off. So during the coronavirus, they had socks outside their window, and every time a car passed, they pretended to gobble up cars. So then, Xi Jinping. What is like the joke about Xi Jinping? If you go on Nifty Gateway, you'll find Winnie the Pooh NFTs. Those things took off. Like, I was in this group chat. I wonder if Pepe's those underground passes ever took off, because it had staggered pricing. It was like $80, but then like as the supply went down, it went to like some crazy numbers. And then I remember one of my final messages, because I wanted to change online money, internet money, to something physical, something I can touch. Something physical I can touch means this thing can come into my reality. I want to touch and feel a marble counter. I can. Like, I can touch and feel a marble. That means it is just a matter of saving. That's why, like, your dream house is just so attainable. It's like Eminem once said, like, does Rumpelstiltskin still spin straw to gold? Like Rumpelstiltskin. So, Rumpelstiltskin, when the jester failed to make the king laugh on one foot, like throwing flaming sticks, they took Rumpelstiltskin and then gave him the chance to spin straw to gold as Rumpelstiltskin can. And he's trapped in a cellar, and the king said, "Make me gold." And then Rumpelstiltskin, over time, he does what's called alchemy. It's through hard work. It is just simply taking the bus to work. It's simply like loading up your Presto card, really investing in that infrastructure technology. I invested in my transit in my city. The city I live in, when they came out with the Presto card, I was one of the first tycoons, not to bash like the Rockefeller people that like did oil and company and stuff, but as I did infrastructure technology, my investment grew and grew. It was like $6 to a guaranteed $120. And then I just asked my manager, Can I work 7 days? Can I work 8? Like I was working like 80-hour weeks because this infrastructure technology was soon to boom. You have some transit shuttle buses that don't have good air conditioning. We now have a metropolitan city, Toronto, and Seattle. If you look at the transit line, it is just so crazy. Like you can go up to like Markham, Steeles Avenue West in Detroit, and then take a 31 to Markham late bus my way, and then like south, and then a metropolitan city is basically when the transit lines are so good. Like I can take a bus from Union Station to Pickering. Those are two different cities. And not every city has that. So sorry about Go is to say, hey, you're not supposed to flake or flop on this moment because you said you wouldn't. Like, hey, it's prom. We're outside your house. Beep beep. Sorry about Go. It's to say this me flaking or flopping this moment is nothing personal.
Okay, I will take it.
SpongeBob, you are not rich. Who are you trying to fool?
So, why do we have credit cards? We have credit cards because we were in the beginning of civilization where people didn't know how pyramids were built or like how cool underground pyramids are and how you can find like the most luxurious like Gucci and Louis Vuitton. Like, and so credit cards. There is no way to start a business or get started in life without a credit card. So when you're starting off, you get approved for a credit card for like 300. You're simply turning straw to gold like Rumpelstiltskin. You just go to work. You just show up to work. And then over time you pay off your credit card bill. And then when you maintain this stable job, you get like, I don't know, an RBC Resurrector if someone has a clean white 72K after 2 years. And that's when like the Indian mom calls them home, and then it's like right now you can even trade Forex. Like before, Forex was just like betting on the African rupee online. But then apparently if I go to like an economic combustion, like where people, the shopping malls and stuff, apparently I could just invest in African rupee, put it in my wallet, and then sell it back. So it's like back, it's like the stock market before Robinhood came out, and then all these people were holding on to the subway and reading newspapers and in black leprechaun peacoats. We don't have that anymore. It's just like so quick, things change.
Look at the ATM.
Yeah, SpongeBob, that is not your account. That is ATM, the debt of America to Mao. This is your account.
So like if a person comes up behind you and you're withdrawing money, apparently if you put in your PIN backwards and you quickly press it, it just sends it back into the ATM. And then let's say you're purchasing an item, right? They're just gonna ask you for cash or debit. That is a POS. That's a point of service. There was once upon a time, let's say you had an RBC card, RBC credit card. And sometimes some people are doing this thing where like you go to a TD Bank and then it says, I want to withdraw $200. TD says for a fee of $3 you can withdraw $200. But yeah, it's right that your RBC card is withdrawing $200 from your RBC account. And but then the convenience of that TD at that time charge you $3. If you pull up the stats, it will just say like ATM fees, those $300 fees, and that's those banks like $1 million per year. Playing on social media costs a company like 45 million. And like most apps nowadays, right, if you go on the App Store, are just beaten by RuneScape. That's why like app developers are even like
Oh, so I am not rich.
Don't worry, you will be rich. We all will. This is a post-reform China, where anything is possible. All it takes is hard work, hours of piano practice, a dream, and an artificially undervalued yuan. Why SpongeBob?
so like the whole typing monkey theory. It's like Shakespeare once said, all the world's a play. People are just not who they pretend to be. There's a conspiracy theory that Shakespeare basically killed the previous Shakespeare. So whoever wrote Macbeth killed the person that wrote Romeo and Juliet, and then went to Leonardo DiCaprio's Great Gatsby show and lived out his days talking to Mark Twain, who has a new novel.
In 20 years, you could even be Inspector Number 1 at the new Revi Jeans factory opening.
So, never live life too fast that you don't stop to smell the roses. Heaven is when you can stop to smell roses and the white couple in front of you cross the street to allow you to do so. It feels good to do nothing at all. Like I was just at a bookstore, a small bookstore, and then I couldn't decide to pick up a chess book or not. And the more I didn't pick up a chess book, I'm like, this just feels so good to not do anything. So Shakespeare said, all the world's a play. Who knows who Shakespeare is? And you could say it's Dracula, you could say it's Vlad the Impaler, Dracula, who knows? I once watched Ghostbusters, and then this headless woman, it's like ghost caught on camera. It's like just the floodgate open, a headless woman, and the door shut back. And then it's like, is that preposterous? Like, look at the way she's dressed. She's quite elegant, right? Like she has, she's dressed quite preposterous. Do you want to be able to like bilingually be able to eloquate with her, so to speak? Like not actually like talk to the ghost, but do you want to be part of the ruling class where you're like your language is like making sense? Okay, so like, for example, like, I'm the best chess player ever. Why am I the best chess player ever? Because I read in English. That's all. Rook A1. You know, when you say it to somebody else, you're thinking in a different language and you're converting it. So it's just like, it's just taking more time. You have to be careful about the fabric in which your Taiwanese shirt is made. If you pick up this red burgundy shirt, it says made in Taiwan. Why don't you want made in Taiwan, Sean Fujiyoshi? Sean Fujiyoshi is Japanese, so Ryan Higa is Japanese. Or, but why don't you want to pick up this shirt that says made in Bangladesh? Because Bangladesh is in English. So then pick something English. So then you just go and you just pick out one that says made in the United States, made in Canada. And they're hard to find because of child labor laws. I don't think child labor laws really exist anymore because I know who little children that are willing to go at it. Like I know a little baby that's just like, if you pay me like $10 per hour to make Jordans, I would make them. So those CNBC videos don't make sense where they're like, I'm sinking millions of dollars because the logistics of exporting and importing. This New Balance, like some sort of competitor. It's like they're always talking about exports, imports. Sometimes it's about child labor laws. You can't have these kids in a sewing machine in the heat in a factory. It's like never buy sunscreen that's in a can. I'm worried it will explode on you. Like I was like at Walmart, and then I was about to buy a canned sunscreen, and then I see this lady, and she was also about to buy a can. It's just smart, like just spray it, and then like, so it is new revolutionary technology. Instead of lathering it so much that it takes 2 hours, and Shiv is complaining why he can't play b-ball. Like, he's like, oh, why do you take so long? Because my hands are like, you have to put on so much, and then you know, like, your friend is waiting for you. He's like, dude, like, lather on more. How do you put on sunscreen? You gotta lather on so much because someone is waiting for you to go play b-ball. And you have to put on so much sunscreen.
Right here, in Bikini Bottom.
Oh boy, a Reebok jeans factory in Bikini Bottom! Where?
Right there.
Okay, so what do I notice about people that play chess or like Battleship as opposed to Hungry Hungry Hippos? Hungry Hippos is just so much better. The best chess players have trauma from war. So what is 10 in a square? There was a professor that was beloved by his Chinese students. Her name was Chun Li. She passed away somewhere unfairly. Like she was beaten with a meter stick or something. She was badly bruised. She didn't show up to work. All the students protested and they went on the streets and they had fence signs. It's just like straight like a fence. Look at someone's fence that they haven't painted white. If you plucked it and just painted it white and then just stuck a sign with hot glue gun, you could have your own protest. That's how people protest and make lemonade stands with picket sign fences. They went to protest and said, my teacher Chun Li has died. My beloved teacher. That's why I'm protesting. They start protesting. And then because there's so many people, if you watch the Tiananmen Square videos, raw footage, so rare because it's a dictatorship. They don't want information spreading like that. So then they sent tanks because how do you stop people if you tell people to go home at night? When curfews are instilled, we understand you want to block the highways. What does peaceful protest look like? There were some counties like Los Angeles that did really well in the Little Baby TV show. It's like, hey, don't block the highways so people can go, the people that want to go to work can go to work and just drive home. Unlawful protest is when you block the highways that people that want to go to work can't go to work. What's wrong about that is because some people can't even drive and bring you water then. So the best thing if people are doing peaceful protests is to clear the highways. Just like, for example, I'm driving my way from Burger King to Toronto Dominion Bank. I can do that in the midst of chaos. Millions of people are storming LA because someone's credit card got declined and he wants to tax the rich. He wants the people paying the most and that are paying the taxes to pay his taxes. And he's yelling. That's why Eat the Rich and like Occupy Wall Street don't make sense. It's good to be affluent and rich. It's good to have white people social engineering. Like if your mom sent you to school and then you deviated into a hoodlum, like try to allow for peaceful protests. I'm driving, I can go to my TD Bank if in the midst of chaos there's protests for 2 years. I can still go home and I have made 80K. And what can I do? I can also bring water. People that are too unruly will straight up just block the highways so no one can work, so that I'm forced to then be in the crowd and be like, clear the highway, and then there's just too much commotion. The thing about LA is like if you send in National Guards that are wearing black, they will be not the best at detaining people. The best at detaining people are those orange camo ones. Detainee, like once you hear detainee, it just means that people are just going door to door and just like the whole hood is under investigation. A guy was in a stroller, like he was a young guy pushing a trolley because someone beat his legs. Like that person, it's a whole entire social media account got clicked on. So Tiananmen Square. Imagine you are the Chinese government and you're like, okay, I understand, like you're protesting because someone unlawfully killed your favorite professor. But please, at 9 p.m., just please go home. Yeah, you know, like you would go home. Some people won't go home. So then what do you do? So then that's why you should be pro-tanks. I am pro-tank. Someone says, we understand you're protesting, but please go home and then come back tomorrow. I would just go protest, voice my opinion. I would go home. I would either be the one going to work and going back and bringing water, or yeah, I would just protest. Go home. If they bring tanks or something, I would be pro-tanks. Because I would have gone home. Why would someone just stay out for that long? So then let's say people are really passionate. And then there are people that stay out. So there's someone that, let's say a guy named Henry, who's really passionate. And his element is a fire sign. And he's yelling and he's throwing rocks at a tank. What do you do to a person that starts throwing rocks at a tank or kicks a shield? Then you don't have, like, so in Tiananmen Square, if you look at the raw unseen footage, you will see that there is bloodshed. So you can see, I don't, it's a controversial topic, Tiananmen Square, where the government shoots at their own people, and there is bloodshed. So that's what Tiananmen Square is. So then, what do I think about it? All I'm saying about Tiananmen Square is I think everyone has the right to an education. So like, let's say I'm forced in that situation. Your favorite professor died. I would protest. I'd be like, hey, this person unlawfully killed this person. Tanks are coming out. I'm a passionate person, but I go back home. I make sure to clean my own room before I yell at someone. Let's say, the thing goes on for like 6 months. I go back out, and then now there's bloodshed. People are kicking shields, or maybe, there's injustice somewhere. Like in the Justice Justin Bieber. Injustice anywhere is injustice everywhere. So then, if I just had to voice my opinion and I had to shout at a tank, I would say, hey, someone unlawfully killed Chun-Li. Everyone has the right to an education. And then what's a really powerful motive? Tanks were going to the school campus to see what's up. A student walks in front of the tank and just says, we're not going to let the government win all the time. He just salutes the tank and says, I am one person in front of an army of tanks. Like, stop. Like, don't. Like, he just made a powerful statement. And that moment just, like, shook the world. One person from the crowd walked in front of tanks and just said, the government can't always win all the time. That's why it's such an iconic image.
Oh, fish sticks.
So then, if I look at chess, for example, Magnus Carlsen, he's from like Poland, Norway, Norwegian, Poland. Poland was invaded in World War II by Germany, Adolf Hitler. Hikaru, ranked number 2, is Japanese, and they were involved in both world wars, and 2 atomic bombs were dropped in Nagasaki and Fabiano's Italian. They lost like World War One. Ding Lorraine is Chinese. I'm Chinese. There's like the Tiananmen Square thing. Gukesh is world champion. It's Indian. Gary Kasparov is Russian. Canada is known for like peacekeeping. United States wins wars. So chess can be seen as like a war game where it's like. So then, when I started playing chess, I went to the library simply on that motive that I just went to pick up books, and I kept reading, and I took advantage of free literature. I kept taking notes on chess, and I just told myself everyone has a right to an education. And it's kind of like how I feel about Tiananmen Square. If I had to voice my opinion on it, it's like if I had to write something on my picket sign, everyone has a right to an education. And then, like, somewhere when I was, like, thinking about Tiananmen Square, I started just taking advantage of books a lot. But that is an iconic moment when that person stood in front of tanks. And another iconic moment, you should search on YouTube, the fall of the Berlin Wall. People were just in school. Some people just sat on the Berlin Wall. They started kicking it. Someone just said, want to kick it today? So they're just sitting where their feet don't touch ground, and they're just kicking it. And then some people were like deliberately hitting the wall. And then it showed it on live television. It was black and white, and it was like, whoa, the fall of the Berlin Wall. It's like Donald Trump talk about ceasefires in Israel when Israel attacked Gaza. Jerusalem is a real place. And like we have the fall of the Berlin Wall, which is also a significant iconic moment. Jerusalem, Israel being in war was also in the Bible. So first there's that, and now there's this. So you can say, it's like the world is coming to an end. It's like what's happening in the world. First that, and now this.